Hello trader, welcome back to deeppocketsforex. We'll be giving you our weekly forex focus. I'm sure you guys are probably wondering why I'm posting this video on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. I want to tell you guys that I had a business trip, an emergency business trip that didn't allow me to post or to create videos and give you guys my opinion. So I decided that I shouldn't post at all. I'll post this the following week. However, in the inner circle, I was gonna post my opinion on Mondays, like we usually do. We post my opinions. I make a market breakdown on Mondays, and then I share with the inner circle members my opinion. So that was gonna happen. Only the YouTube video wasn't gonna be posted, but I couldn't resist the urge to give you guys something. So I decided, let me just give you something on a Sunday. So before wasting any more time, let's break down the market for you. This is CJPY. Now for CJPY, like we said this previous week, we said that we're expecting a drop here, and the drop is expected to be in a form of a corrective structure, or we can just get an impulsive move like this. However, how price is unfolding, there's an expected unfold. So here, after getting this drop, we can expect to get something like this, then one more drop up to around this area. Then from here, we can assess price. Right from this area, there's a chance that we might pivot up, and also this pivot from here. After getting this impulse move down, this pivot from here, this is based on the smaller view, right in this box, right in this box. So this pivot is based on focused. That is just based on this box here. But looking at the bigger picture, the bigger picture means that from here, there's a possibility that we might get a corrective structure here then down, because we are looking at the bigger picture and how price has been moving from right this area. It means we can have price pivoting down all the way up to this area. But if we limit our focus from this area here, we can start to be careful here. We can start to be careful right around this area, because there's a possibility we might pivot here and then move up. That's it. That's on CJPY. There's a potential for an up move here, and also there's a chance that price can move all the way down and then get a pivot from here up. So that is what you should look out for CJPY. So in the inner circle, we should be looking out for a pivot here. We'll be assessing structure and seeing if it allows us for an opportunity here, then up. But if it doesn't, if it shows signs of continuation down, then we would be waiting for this drop here. That's on CJPY. There's a potential to pivot here or here. This is NZDCD. Now for NZDCD, like we said this previous week, we said we're expecting a corrective structure here, then price moves up. So what we're having here, we're having price move like this. Now this is not a surprise, because in our inner circle we teach different types of corrective structures. So when we expect a corrective structure, it means that we are flexible enough to know that it can be this form of a correction or that form of a correction. So based on how price is moving here, we know exactly the kind of correction which may show up. So from here we can expect an up move, breaking this previous highs like this. We can expect this up move, breaking this previous highs, then we get a drop. So this is a corrective structure that can show up, and after this drop we can break this previous low and break this previous low like that, up to all the way up to around this area. So if you're able to catch a sell here, you should be able to look for an entry to sell, but only if your entry requirements are met, because you should not be taking any buy or any sell just because Bokani is saying get a sell here or get a buy here, or price is moving up or down here. So you shouldn't be getting into any trade based on that. You should not be doing that. You should only be getting on a setup because your entry requirements are met. You should be able to have a list of entry requirements, and when they are met, you go in. That's it. So let's move on to the next pair. This is GBPST. Now for GBPST, you all know that previously we had price right around this area, and we're expecting price to give a pullback or a corrective structure, then give a drop. Now you can see that we managed to get kind of like pullback here before getting this drop. Because of volatility, there's too much pressure to the downside here. That is why the pullback didn't go any deeper, or it didn't go it didn't pull back to the level which we were focusing this previous week. We just get a slight pullback, then continuation down. Now, based on how price is behaving here, we can expect price to either give a slight corrective structure here, then up like this, up to around this area. So if you're looking for a buy from here, you can wait for this pullback or this corrective structure, then buy all the way up to around this area. Then from here we can reassess price. From here there's a chance that price can continue up, but I'm saying that we can reassess that based on how price behaves at this point, or based on how price unfolds up to this area here. That is on GBPST. One of the pairs which we talked about this past week is NZDCD. Now for NZJPY, you all know that we say that we're expecting a corrective structure like that. Now you see how this is unfolding. This is exactly what we talked about. Feel free to go to our previous videos and check that out. We can expect something like this here, a drop here like this, because price is expected to pivot from here all the way up, and from here we can expect a very big movement, an impulsive movement after this is completed. Don't expect that movement here, because it's out of our line of focus. If you expect to get that here, if we get an up move here, this would be just maybe manipulation. Then price continues lower like this, and then from here, just when you think that price is heading down, and then you are looking for a sell here, you are looking for a sell, hoping that price would keep falling. Then from here, this is when price would take a different turn like that. So all these movements are just based on manipulation. So just expect that we're expecting to get a drop here up to around this area. Then from here we can start pushing up. That's on NZDJPY. We can expect this movement here like this, because that is what we're focusing based on structure. This is Euro CAD. Now for Euro CAD, like we stated this previous weeks, we're expecting price to pivot up, but until we get the first move, based on our strategy, there's a certain move we need to have initially for us to be able to make any move, or for us to be alert on if we can enter soon or we won't be entering soon. But we haven't got that on Euro CAD. See, Euro CAD is just moving like this. It's just moving like this. So as of now, we'll just put it aside, because when it's unfolding like this, there's a chance we might have an up move here, breaking previous high, but it won't go any further than this. We might be having another impulse move here, drop like this. So just you can just stay out of this, because it's not promising anything massive. But later on, we can expect price to move up to around this area. That is what we have on Euro CAD. This is Euro AUD. Now for Euro AUD, we're expecting price to move like this, up then down, breaking previous low, breaking previous low. That is the template which you are getting based on structure. Then from here we can start moving up. There's an up move that is expected on Euro AUD. You can expect that up move. Let's just check on the 8 hour here. That is the movement that you can expect. You can expect price to move like this, then up, breaking previous high, then drop. This drop is expected, and it's expected to break this previous low, and then you can start looking forward for an up move. That is what we can expect on Euro AUD. This is USD Chef. For USD Chef, you all know that from here, price pushed all the way down to this area, and then we say that this might just be manipulation. Price might be getting ready to give a corrective structure, and push lower like this, and push lower like this. This is the structure that we can get possibly, or from here we can have an impulse move up to around this area, then get a corrective structure here, then up like that. So all this would just be one big correction. Then later we can reassess what is next. But as of now, just keep in mind there's a possibility we can have price giving a corrective structure upwards like that, upwards. As of now here, there's not really much probability for a sudden drop here like this. There's not really much probability unless we complete the structure. This is when we can have price moving lower like that. That is on USD Chef. This is GBP Chef. Now you know that for GBP Chef we've made a forecast here all the way down like this, and we say that around this area be careful because here there's a possibility that price might give a corrective structure or a pullback up to around this area then drop, but because of the volatility you can see that it was just a slight pullback, then price continued lower. At this point you can expect a bigger corrective structure like this, because you do remember that we made a focus and talked about this corrective structure or this pullback going up to this area, then price continuing lower because of how structure looked. Structure showed that there's still one more expected drop here. But it will happen after corrective structure or after pullback. But then we just got this sudden push down up to around this area. From here now, you can start to expect a bigger corrective structure like that, or you can expect price to move impulse, corrective structure, impulse like that. That is what you can expect on GBP CHF. At this moment from here, we're not expecting price to push any lower. So if you are currently taking any sell positions, you can manage your trade, because from now we are either gearing up for a corrective structure or a reversal up. That is what we see based on structure. This is AUD NZD. AUD NZD, you all know that we made this forecast. We said after this corrective structure, you're expecting a drop here like that. And then this previous week, after getting this slight corrective structure, a drop was expected. From here, what you can expect is price to either give a corrective structure like this, then another drop. And this drop here is a little bit exaggerated. Another drop like this, breaking this previous low. You can expect this, and from here you can expect a big wave up. Alternatively, because you know that the market, it has alternative routes, it has alternative routes, and they all have probabilities. That there's a probability price can follow this route, there's a probability the price can follow that route. But as of now, there's a chance that from here we can get this corrective structure, then price pushes lower, and then alternatively from here we can have price pushing up, corrective structure up, corrective structure up, all the way up to around this area, breaking this previous high, and then getting this drop. That is another route. So as you're gearing up for this week, just expect a corrective structure, or expect price to move impulsively up. Price is expected to move up either impulsively or correctively from this area. That is what we're expecting based on structure. Looking at what structure is given, that is what we're expecting. If at all prices to continue lower, just be on the lookout for a slight corrective structure here, then we can have price moving lower. That is what you should look out for on AUD NZD. One pair which we have here is Euro USD. Now for Euro USD, based on what is happening here, you can expect price to either drop, breaking previous low, then up like this, breaking previous high, then from here, after breaking this previous high, you can expect a drop like that. That is the template which I'm giving you. That is the structure which price is showing. So let's move on to the next pair. This is AUD JPY. If you are a follower of our work, you know that we focused at a big move right from this area on AUD JPY. And then this past weeks, we focused at a corrective structure here, or a pullback to go all the way deep down up to this area. So this next week, expect price to start to keep pushing lower. Expect price to keep pushing lower. If after we get this drop here, after maybe a corrective structure here, you can expect up to around this area, then still expect a drop lower, breaking this previous low like that. So we're either expecting price to give a drop like that impulsively, or it can move down, up, down as a corrective structure, just as I'm showing you here. So this next week, what you should look out for, a corrective structure here, then drop. Now this drop, it can happen up to around this area. So if you're able to cash an entry opportunity here, be careful knowing that if you sell from around this area, from here you can have a pivot like that. And then from here also, keep knowing that we can push all the way up to around this area, then pivot like that. So that is on AUD JPY. Our bias is down for now. But later there's going to be an up move all the way up because structure is showing that. This is GBP JPY. Just as we stated this previous weeks, we said we're expecting more down. And then we say that around this area, be careful, be on the lookout. From here, what you can look out for is either a corrective structure up to around this area, and then we can have continuation down, a drop like that. Or we can pivot up from here. So if you're able to get an opportunity, an entry opportunity here for a buy, be ready to manage it around this area. Are you saying that around this area, be ready to manage it? Be ready to manage it, knowing that from here anything can happen. Price can push up, or price can give one last drop, breaking previous low, then up like that. That is how structure is showing to unfold. Also, there's another option here. Price can move like this, then up, breaking this previous high, then giving a drop. Price can move like that. That is on GBP JPY. This is gold. Now for gold, you all know that from here, we're expecting price to push lower like this according to structure, and based on how price was moving here, based on this corrective structure, price looks like it's headed up one more time, breaking previous high, and hopefully based on how this structure is moving, we can expect that this is an expansion. The corrective structure that we are getting here, the bigger corrective structure that we are getting here is advancing. It's an advancing correction, and we should be looking out for a reversal around this area. It's our responsibility to look out for a reversal here. If at all price happens to give a corrective structure here like this, then you should be forgetting about a reversal, because how price unfolds determines where the direction is. So based on this current move, this current impulse, we can expect either a pullback here or a corrective structure. If we get such a movement, then we should be expecting price to even break this previous high all the way up. Then later, this movement that we're talking about, the bigger movement will follow later. So that is what we have for you this week.